Hello, this is already going to be a different type of reading. I can tell just from the energy that Spirit has provided me with leading into this reading. Moments ago, I drew my 14th card today on May 14th for Embracing Your Inner Mama Bear. So this message is for those who either need to or have currently embraced their inner mama bear. And I apologize for the hoarseness of my voice. So let's just get started. I guess I'm going to give today a theme, which is breaking free. That's the theme I've been given. Now let's draw a card. Be the Capricorn. It's so funny when I draw a mystery sticker and then I those are of course astrologies, but I do have the astrologies blended into my deck. So it might confuse people because this is not a standard tarot deck. In fact, what this is instead is a hybrid deck that I have made, which includes only the major arcana and maybe a few kings and queens. And then also it includes artwork that I did for astrologies. And then I was led by Spirit to, instead of trying to fit my other paintings I was inspired to make into a tarot theme or some other theme, to simply add them into my deck as inspirations. And so that's what I've done. So, and the strange thing about astrology is even if we can strongly identify with this astrology that we were birthed with, I believe very sincerely that we've lived so many lives. All of us are returning. I've heard sorry, I'm adjusting the lighting. I've heard that there are about 700,000 actual oversouls on this earth right now, and within each of those there are 12 souls, and they make up the oversoul, and so on and so forth, and that kind of goes all the way up. But like what we're experiencing is we're able to gain way more earnings and insights here on earth with a shorter amount of time and lesser people, right? Or concept of people. But we've all been everything at this point. Maybe we're here for the big finale as our favorite, right? So, but what we find in human design is that both our personality side, which is forever, and our design side, which is for our earthly experience to help us fulfill our soul purpose or our incarnation cross, as they call it in human design. So we discover that all of those traits map into, or we'll call them the gates. The gates all map through different astrologies. So what I found was, although I strongly identified as a Gemini, being a Gemini sun and moon, I am also so many other things, as we also know when we look at our full astrology chart, right? So we're all a mix of everything, and that's what makes us so wonderful and unique. But today I did draw the Cancer. So what I'm thinking is that this message is to someone who is dealing with embracing their inner mama bear, someone who is a nurturer, someone who is called to helping others. This message is for you. The first message I'm giving you is to embrace your Capricorn traits, right? Being the actual goat, the greatest of all time. And of course, all the signs have greatness within them. But what this means is, well, it's represented by a sea goat. So there's that part of being a goat, right? But what it also means is the Capricorn is a go-getter, right? If you know Capricorns, I work with some amazing Capricorns. They can get things done, okay? And they're grounded, but they're not boring. So that's what my art was all about. It was a reminder to me that I had had a negative attitude toward Capricorn, In fact, I didn't even want to give birth to my child on one day. I wanted to wait until the next day because I was afraid that she would be a crabby Capricorn, quote unquote, But I mean, that was kind of based on a crabby grandpa who was a Capricorn. And, that's not fair because all of us, as we age, just like animals, we become our grumpiest version of ourselves. So it wasn't really a fair assessment for me to say that. And I mean, although I have been butted quite a bit by goats, so I don't know, there's a little bit cantankerousness to it, but I think it's part of what helps them get it done, right? They're not putting up with any bullshit. And so this message for you right now, Mama Bear, is don't put up with any BS and just get it done. That's the first part that I am hearing. Breaking free of whatever barriers are stopping you from reaching your dream or your goal. What I've learned is if you're doing a job that you hate, that supports a cause that you don't believe in. And so let me give an example. Didn't we, in the past year, learn so much new material that we've yet to embrace fully or allow to effect change into our lives? Did we not just learn that essentially our financial world is all owned by kind of evil families? And that's what we're giving money to? And then did we also not learn in a way that, well, I did, that our education system is completely corrupted? Education dollars are funding some terrible trafficking and abuse situations. Education funds, I mean, it's all a lie because if you look back at who invented our education system, it's a certain family. And oh, by the way, they had an intent, and that intent was to create slaves. Okay? So we think we have freedom of choice, but we're slaves. And then let's talk about health care, or whatever we're imagining as health care in this world, because I happen to know that these frequencies are what's healing us. And the sun and the source of true light, which is within all of us, is healed by sound. And so what is this other nonsense? And if it was so wonderful, how come humans that in biblical times, not that long ago, were living 900 years, are now only living less than 100 years? Can someone explain it to me like I'm 5 years old? Because I do not understand, other than to see that it's very obvious that we are in a controlled state by an evil entity. They mind control us. There's patents out of ways that they have done so. Oh boy. But yeah, beyond that, there's so much going on that we have found out every system is broke. And yet how many of us are still paying into and doing jobs and living out our worst lives and our not selves because we are thinking that's the only way to survive? And yet Bashar asks very practically, if something you hate can help you survive, how could something you love not help you survive? So that's where we need to go, be the Capricorn and find ways to make money and survive and live in ways that we enjoy and do this to the system. That's what being the goat's about right now. Blank the system, guys. We've got to say goodbye to it. It was fake. Government was fake. Not one party, both parties, all parties, any party that would ever exist would never be allowed to do anything that other people didn't want them to do. They were just puppets, right? They're not the master of the puppets. So the master of the puppets will not let anything happen that does not continue to energize what they need. Steal from us and get what they need. It's not a system for us. And yet, fear thou not, because we have the power within that we did not know we had. There's an obvious reason it was hidden from us. There's an obvious reason we don't live to be 900 years. And there's an obvious answer to it. Blank the world as it is right now and make it the world we need it to be. Stop everything that doesn't suit you and do the things you love. You can make money doing the things you love. And quite frankly, let's just ascend to the fourth and fifth dimension where there is no cost of living. Talk to any of your deceased friends or angels or even some of the higher dimensional beings from other planets, and you'll find out they're not suffering like we are. Why are we suffering? We don't have to be suffering. We don't need to be suffering. And yet here we are. Okay, because it's about learning. We've learned enough. Us 700,000 old souls who've done it all. We're ready to make this happen. We're all just kind of waiting for the rest of y'all to wake up. And I don't think this message is necessarily for my listeners, because I think my listeners are waking up. But maybe my listeners are like me, dealing with the frustration of those who continue to be in denial despite all of the evidence to the contrary. I will draw another card now. Getting a nudge. Ooh, I got the angel card, and it was 11:11, I think, right as I was doing that. But this is my 444 card. I was born at 444. I guess that's the luckiest thing about me, and also the fact that Sad al-Sud is my star, which is in Arabic means the luckiest of the lucky. So both things are very lucky about me, but guess what? All of us are lucky, and we don't need luck. We have magic. We have the wand. We have the power within. We have the abilities. We just have to believe and make it so. This is a reminder that we have angels watching over us, and we should thank them every time we can, whether it's because of synchronicities or otherwise. And it's a reminder that when you follow your synchronicities, when you pay attention to things happening around you, more and more will occur. And what I have heard from Bashar is that randomness does not exist. We ourselves have orchestrated our experience perfectly so that we would learn the things that we would need to learn. And he said if we could understand the truth of what we have orchestrated, it would blow our minds. He said watching us live in a box when we have all the power is like watching a small ant farm or a circus. We are so much more. I love you guys. I'm so happy to find people who are feeling this, who are understanding this. But how can we help others to understand it, right? And you know what? My new magic trick is this. Play these sound bowls whenever you can. Not just for you, for your neighbors. Play them outside. These are healing frequencies. It's kind of wild to think that's all we really needed. People don't believe it. They're skeptical of it. But I beg of you, if you have a disease, if you have a thing, start to love yourself. Manifest change. Talk your way out of it. And also, why not? Sit at home with a $300 set of bowls and play them nonstop if you have the time and the wherewithal to do so, and see what happens. Please post your results if this happens, my friends. I have been doing it as much as I can, and I will tell you, it is hard to bring me down. It's not that there aren't sorrows in my life. I just can't be brought down anymore. I'm ready to say goodbye to this dimension. I am, and because of that, I have a feeling of light and love and happiness that I have never had on earth. And I can tell you, I have been a very sad misfit of a person who did not want to be here. I did horrible things to myself to not be here. So it is new that I love this earth, and it is a completely changed person that I am. which is why my soul has led me to keep talking like this, even if the rest of the friends and family and the world think I'm nuts right now. Because over time, things that don't make sense start to make sense when you open up your heart. Listen to your angels. Read the Bible with the different level of understanding than you have before, as if you are the creator. What was Jesus telling people that they hated? He had the power because he did the training. The training all of us can do. He did it. He did it in Egypt. He studied in India. He learned things, and he was able to perform miracles using other dimensional beings and his own, what we all have. We all have it. That's not blasphemy. That's what Jesus was saying. And the Pharisees didn't like it because they can't control us if we think we have power, and we know we have power. Let's draw another card. Ooh, more fire energy. Yeah, I am fired up. Thank you. Just a reminder. There are causes worthy of being fired up about. They are happening all around us right now, and it's time to come up with an action plan to change this. And if it just means manifesting a new world by believing it so, we will manifest a different world and believe it so. Do you know that the Mayans just disappeared and nobody could explain it? You know what they did? They also evolved, ascended, awoke, had a rapture, or whatever you want to call it. They did it. Why? Because enough of their population understood their power and believed, and they carried with them the rest. And I have heard Bashar say 166,000, something like that, was the magic number of us. And folks, I think we're there. I think some of us are already halfway out the door. It'll remain to be seen if we'll become those superheroes who come back and try to help others who feel stuck here, who feel like there's things they haven't finished here, who can't let go of karmic debt here that was kind of a falsehood to begin with. So there are going to be others who won't want to evolve. And yeah, some of us will rise to the occasion to help them. Will it be you? Will it be me? All remains to be seen. I bet if you've been watching hero shows all of your life, you're a definite candidate for that, right? If you love that stuff, if you love sci-fi, if you love the whole super, because no story's fake. No invention, by the way, it comes from nowhere. Because if time is a construct and everything that ever is and ever will be is right now happening all simultaneously, then all inventions that could ever be and every idea it's already out there. So people just go into their altered conscious, and those who can master it are able to figure it out. Those people include people like Einstein, Nicholas Tesla, way more is available than what we are doing. We could be teleporting. We could be we could all be 100% telepathic. We could stop wasting time on words. It would be so amazing, wouldn't it? Everybody who's sick of hearing me talk, say amen. But yeah, we could stop talking because we could just understand. And what a beautiful world it would be. We could love each other unconditionally, and we could just understand each other. And so that's what we're fired up about. We're fired up about the future. And we should be. It's a positive thing, not a negative thing. They would expose the worst. Oh, yeah, tripping. I don't know where tripping's fitting in here now, but I don't even feel like tripping's necessary. But I guess I realized today that when you're with people that are on your same frequency, it's like doing mushrooms, because the effects and the impacts of being around them last for days after, and months and weeks and years, right? Just like they say about the mushrooms, suddenly later you're like, oh, and it opened up this, and it opened up this, and it opened up this for me. So for those of you who are, who've never experienced such a thing, who want to kind of escalate this process, that is a method. But I'm reminded that once something is used as a teacher, and it's not a drug, it's not a recreational activity, it's not a fun party event, but when something is used as a teacher, As soon as you've learned the lesson, it will stop working. I've heard people say that the shrooms don't work anymore, and folks, that's why. You've learned your lessons from those ones, and now there's other teachers. If you continue to do something once it's out served its purpose, not only will it not work, but it will be more of a negative drag, right? At that point, it's addiction. If it's no longer helping open a third eye that you can't open on your own, or do something that you can't do on your own, once it stops having that effect, that's when we stop. Okay, one more card. Oh, well, that's never going to be the last card. I mean, I threw my angry art in there, but I'm also kind of apolitical and understanding this to be what it is, the greatest disruptor of all time, the least likable person of all time, going to end and change everything. And we found out some terrible, terrible things. And we can't keep supporting the patriarchy and capitalism when they don't make any sense. So that's all I'm going to say about that card. And I'm going to draw another one. And that will hopefully be my last one, as long as it's a super positive card, because I don't end on negative cards. All right. Here we go. Ha! Oh, we could be not. Yeah, of course, this is a positive card. We're heading into Gemini season. So Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon here is just here to remind you that don't doubt your twin energy thing. And sometimes in some views of Gemini, this is thought of as one is the soul, right? So don't deny your soul. Don't deny your higher self. Don't deny that twin energy this month as things are going to continue changing in this universe. Be part of the change. Be part of what's going to make us ascend. I love you. Thank you. You know what to do if you enjoyed this. Have a great day, evening, ascension, whatever you want to do. Thank you again. I really appreciate you if you made it to the end like this. You're a trooper.